Somewhere in America tonight, a phone is going to light up with the most dangerous question one family member can ever ask another. It will not sound dangerous at all, because it will arrive wrapped in love, wrapped in history, and wrapped in guilt. It will simply say, "Hey, things are tight right now. Is there any way you could lend me a little money?" And the person holding that phone is about to make a decision that could quietly cost them their savings, their sleep, and the relationship itself. Because here is the brutal truth that almost nobody says out loud at the dinner table. A loan between family members is not really a loan. It is a slow-motion argument that has not started yet. But there is one rule. One simple rule that protects both the money and the relationship at the same time. By the end of this video, that rule will be crystal clear, along with the exact words to use when the phone lights up. So picture a guy named Marcus, a warehouse supervisor outside of Atlanta, who did everything the way a good brother is supposed to. His younger brother called him on a Tuesday night, voice shaking, saying his car was about to be repossessed. He needed $2,800, and he swore on everything that he would pay it back within 3 months. Marcus had the money sitting in his emergency fund, and therefore saying no felt impossible, almost cruel. So he sent it that same night, no paperwork, no plan, just trust between two brothers who grew up sharing a bedroom. But 3 months came and went, and the repayment never showed up. 6 months later, Marcus watched his brother post vacation photos from Miami, and something inside him snapped. He was not just missing $2,800 anymore. He was now auditing his own brother's entire life. Every restaurant receipt, every new pair of sneakers, every concert ticket suddenly felt like a personal insult. Therefore, the relationship changed, not with a screaming fight, but with shorter phone calls and skipped birthdays. And this is the part that most people completely miss about lending money to family. The moment the money moves, the relationship changes jobs. A brother becomes a lender, a sister becomes a debtor, and every holiday dinner becomes a payment reminder that nobody says out loud. The borrower starts avoiding the lender, not because they are a bad person, but because shame is heavier than debt. But the lender cannot bring it up either, because asking for the money back makes them feel greedy and small. Therefore, both people stay silent, and the silence does more damage than the money ever could. Surveys on family lending tell the same ugly story over and over again. A huge share of family loans are never repaid in full, and a painful number of them end with damaged or destroyed relationships. But the money is honestly the smaller loss, because savings can be rebuilt. A 30-year relationship with a sibling cannot be rebuilt at a bank. So the obvious question is, why does this keep happening to smart, loving, well-meaning families all across the country? The answer is that a family loan breaks the basic rules of both worlds at the same time. In the banking world, a loan comes with a contract, a credit check, interest, and real consequences for missing payments. In the family world, love is supposed to be unconditional, forgiving, and free of scorekeeping. But a family loan tries to live in both worlds at once, and therefore, it fails in both. There is no contract, so the lender has no protection. But there is love, so the lender cannot enforce anything without looking like a monster at Thanksgiving. The borrower knows this, sometimes consciously, sometimes not. And therefore, family debt always drops to the bottom of the pile. The credit card company charges late fees, but grandma just sighs quietly. So guess who gets paid first? Which brings the story to the one rule that changes everything. The rule financial advisors quietly repeat to their wealthiest clients. The rule is called gift or nothing, and it is exactly as blunt as it sounds. If a family member asks for money, there are only two honest answers that protect everyone involved. Either give the money as a true gift with zero expectation of ever seeing it again, or do not give it at all. The loan, the middle option, the one that feels the kindest, is actually the trap, because a gift ends the transaction the moment it happens, and therefore the relationship stays clean. Nobody is watching anybody's vacation photos, nobody is counting anybody's sneakers, and nobody is dreading the next phone call. But a loan phone keeps the transaction alive for months or years, and it sits at the table during every single family gathering. So the real test is beautifully simple, and it takes about 10 seconds to run. A person should look at the amount being requested and ask themselves one honest question. If this money vanished forever, tonight, would life still be okay, and would love for this person survive? If the answer is yes, they can give it as a gift, say it as a gift, and truly mean it. If the answer is no, then the answer to the request must also be no, full stop. Because lending money that a person cannot afford to lose is not generosity. It is gambling with the relationship as the chips. But knowing the rule is the easy part, and everybody watching this already knows what comes next. The hard part is the actual conversation, looking at a mother, a cousin, or a childhood best friend, and saying the word no. Therefore, here are the exact scripts, word for word, that make saying no survivable. Script number 1 is the honest wallet. It sounds like this. I love you, and I can't lend money right now. My own finances won't allow it. Notice there is no 15-minute explanation attached, and that is completely intentional. The longer the explanation, the more it sounds like a negotiation. And family members are world-class negotiators. A short answer delivered with warmth is a wall. But a long answer delivered with guilt is a door left open. Script number 2 is the policy shield. It sounds like this. Years ago, I made a rule to never lend money to people I love, because I've seen it destroy families. This one is powerful because it makes the refusal about the policy, not about the person asking. The relative is not being rejected, the loan itself is being rejected. And that difference softens the entire conversation. Therefore, the person asking has nothing personal to argue against, because a principle does not have feelings to attack. Script number 3 is the partial gift. It sounds like this: I can't do 3,000, but I can give you 500 as a gift. No strings, no payback. This works when a person genuinely wants to help, but refuses to become a lender. The amount is smaller, the money is gone forever by design, and therefore the relationship never enters the danger zone. Script number 4 is the help without cash. It sounds like this: I can't give money, but I can help you build a plan, make calls, or look over the bills with you. Sometimes the person asking does not actually have a money problem, they have a chaos problem. 2 hours helping a cousin call a utility company can be worth more than a check, and it costs the relationship nothing. But even with perfect scripts, there is one more battlefield that has to be covered, and it is the ugliest one. The guilt trip. Because when some family members hear the word no, they do not hear a boundary, they hear a betrayal. They will bring up the past, saying things like, after everything this family has done, this is the thanks. They will compare, saying things like, well, your cousin would have helped without even blinking. And they will predict disaster, saying things like, fine, I guess I'll just lose the apartment then. These lines hurt because they are engineered to hurt, and they have usually been working for decades. But here is what a person has to understand in that exact moment, and it changes everything. Guilt is a pricing strategy. If saying no triggers punishment, anger, or emotional blackmail, that is actually proof the no was correct. Because a request that only accepts one answer was never really a request. It was a demand wearing a polite costume. Therefore, the response to a guilt trip should be calm, boring, and repetitive, like a broken record with a kind voice. I hear you, I love you, and my answer is still no. Said once, said twice, said 10 times if needed, with 0 new explanations added each round. Explanations are ammunition, and a skilled guilt tripper will fire every single one of them right back. Now, there are 2 final traps that deserve their own warning labels because they are the most expensive mistakes on this entire list. Trap number 1 is cosigning. When a relative says they do not want money, they just need a signature on a loan, that signature is the money. Cosigning means legally promising to pay someone else's entire debt if they stop paying, and the bank will absolutely collect. Missed payments land on the cosigner's credit report, and therefore a single signature can wreck a credit score built over 20 years. The gift or nothing rule applies here with double force, because a cosign loan is a loan a person cannot even control. Trap number 2 is the repeat customer. The first request is usually a genuine emergency, and helping once can truly be an act of love. But the second request comes faster. The third comes with less apology. And by the fourth, it is simply a subscription. At that point, the money is no longer solving emergencies, it is funding a lifestyle, and the giver has become the plan. Therefore, real love sometimes means canceling the subscription, so the person finally has a reason to build their own safety net. Because here is the deepest truth hiding underneath this entire topic, and it is the part nobody wants to admit. Rescuing someone from every consequence does not protect them. It just delays the day they learn to protect themselves. The kindest thing Marcus could have done for his brother was not the $2,800. It was an honest no, a smaller gift he could truly afford, and a Saturday afternoon helping him sort out the car situation. The money bought 3 months of peace and cost the brothers 3 years of distance. So the next time that phone lights up, and for millions of families it absolutely will, the playbook is simple. Run the 10-second test. Gift or nothing. Never in between. Use a short script. Hold the line through the guilt. Never cosign and never become the subscription. Because family will forgive a no in a matter of weeks. But an unpaid loan gets remembered at every single dinner for the rest of a lifetime. And that is why the most loving word in family finance, the one that saves both the money and the people, is the one word nobody wants to say. No. Because somewhere in America tonight, a phone is going to light up. And this time, the person holding it will be ready.